Welcome to the Andy Rants podcast, episode 16. So first and foremost, I just want to say if you are new here, thank you for joining. I kind of vowed against this podcast. I said I wasn't going to do any more episodes. But here I am. So here's why I decided not to do that anymore. Well, let's just say one or two of you can convince me pretty easily. So I was saying, I think I said this in maybe two videos, that I wasn't going to continue this podcast, at least for a while. And two of you said, I really like your podcast. And so I said, you know what, coming back for one more episode. For now, what I'm trying to do is just distance the amount of times I make a podcast, because like I've said multiple times, I always rely on the podcast episodes as a crutch. I hope no one died. I always rely on the podcast as a crutch of some sort. And let's just say it's not the best thing. Also, this is another episode like the previous one where my phone is at 17. Actually, I think it's less. I think it's at 14%. And we're just trying to figure out how long it's going to last. Okay, how long is this episode going to last? I just thought of something. Does the recording end when you get the notification of 10% left? Because that might be a problem. I'm using my back facing camera on my phone to record this. Normally I do the front facing camera because I like to know what I look like. But this time I decided I'm going to do the back camera just because it normally looks better. I'm recording in the day. Kind of different because I always record at night. But let's just say I really don't like recording at night. Or I like recording at night because that's when I'm up, really. But I don't think it looks as good. So I'm really scared that this is going to shut off when it hits 10% because of the thing. Interesting. Well, let's just say I wrote down some topics. Even though I said I wasn't going to do a podcast episode in a while, I was still writing topics, which, you know what, can't even find. So that's always that's always happening to me. I had to do a project today where it was where you see yourself in 10 years or something. It was the final assignment. And it was a speaking one, I had to narrate it. It was a PowerPoint, I had to narrate it. And my voice kept cracking. I don't know why it kept cracking. I mean, this normally doesn't happen to me. My voice will crack, but it won't crack repeatedly. I just at random moments I would crack. And it would be really hard to just keep going because I recorded it, I think a total of 3 times. Third time's the charm, clearly, because I got it that one. It still wasn't very good. I mean, I did mess up on a lot of parts, and if I don't know what I'm saying, I speak really slowly, and I understand that is really annoying to watch to some people or to hear, just someone talking. And the funny part is that I was repeating the same things over and over again. I was so I incorporated these ideas throughout my films, and then in the next slide I'd be so maybe you guys can incorporate these ideas into your film, but not just on a physical. Not just on a mental level, but on a technical level. And then I just kept saying that over and over again. And it was really insufferable. But I just kind of wanted to get it over with. That's kind of my thought process with essays and anything that requires literally just an extra amount of work. It's just, I'm going to submit it. But I can't assure that it'll be good. So, we'll see. Frick. Shoot, I can't even find I started doing this thing where I'm putting podcasts, and I text myself a lot, and my goal was to put podcasts in front of all the messages if it was for a podcast episode. Oh, I found one, but what does this even mean? What? Podcast working at an office school. Oh! my god, I remember. Okay, a little story time. Also, look, the goatee. You probably can't even see it. The work in progress goatee, I'm not fully committed to it yet. Okay, I just woke up today and I decided, what if I just like don't shave everything? What if I just keep a little goatee and a little mustache? I don't know if it'll work. Never tried it. Listen, if it doesn't fully grow in, it'll be gone. But I'm just gonna try it a little bit. I'm fully not even sure if it'll look good. You know, it's like one of those things you just kind of have to practice, or you have to try it out. So I'm gonna try it out. I might have to like get up periodically to check to see if the video stop recording. Let's see. I don't know. I'm actually really scared. It's at 12% now. We still have a lot of time for the podcast. The issue is whether it'll stop at the 10% mark. So, okay. I have this little story. Let me put my iPad to the side. Also, please ignore those chair noises. I swear it's not me farting. It is the chair. The office, working at the school's office. So, let me paint the scene because I'm not sure if everybody has like this experience with their high school. But my high school has like an office where, you know, parents come in if you want to take your child out of the school day or like a school year. Anything you really need, like that is where you'll go if you need to talk to the principal, a counselor, whatever. That's kind of where you go first and foremost. And then you'll be guided into the right direction. So my school offers like I don't know, it's not teacher's assistant, but it's like teacher's assistant but for office. They had a specific name, I don't remember now though. But office aid, it was office aid. It was office aid. So they offered office aid. My junior year of high school, I took a course where it was like split, you know, like a dual enrollment sort of thing. One half was a personal, it was like almost like a personal psychology sort of class, and which was really easy. And then the second half was strategies for success, which I had already taken that in freshman year. So they told me, the teacher was saying like the entire first half of the year, she was like, if you already took strategies for success, like you're gonna have to switch out, like they're gonna send you to the office and you could pick out a different class. So I was like, well, fuck, because like I wasn't planning for me to have to pick a different class. And obviously I always struggled every year. I always struggled to find like what class I wanted, like extra. But I decided, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go to office aid just because I knew people that were working in office aid. And by the way, it was like a period thing, like a based on period. We had 8 periods throughout the day. Wait, I made that up. We have 4 periods total, but it would be like period 1, 3, 5, 7, and then periods 2, 4, 6, 8 the next day. So it would interchange like that. So I would have it one of those, my voice is cracked. It will happen one of those days. I'll have the class one of those days. Well, let's just say I'm not the most social person. So I already knew going in, it might be a little bit of a struggle that I am going to an office aid job role where the people, what they're doing is they're literally like getting adults to come in and they're talking to the adults and the students to help them with their needs. So not only did I have to be social, I also had to learn like literally office work. Which is something that was completely alien to me. I did not know, like I don't know how to file things. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could do it really easily. I don't know how to work a phone like that. Okay, they could say a lot about Gen Z, but one thing about me is that I don't know how to work a phone like that. Okay, I could pick up a phone and press the buttons or whatever, even like the dial ones or whatever. I know how to do that. But one of those, the office phones, where it's like 100 buttons and every button is like an extension or something, and you have to like write a code for each person you want to reach. That was something I was completely unfamiliar with, and I still to this day don't know. And let me finish the story. So I switched into it. I'm thinking because one of my friends, what he would do was he would go to office aid, but he would like write down on the thing, I'm going to a different class, and then he would just go to a different class and literally not do any work. So it was like easy peasy lemon squeezy. I thought I was going to be able to do the same thing and go to one of the classes I always would skip to. But I was wrong because the guy who was in charge of the office aide who would take attendance, he just wouldn't show up early on in the day. And my friend that I'm talking about had the class like for his first or second period. I'm not sure. So the guy wouldn't be there. So to take attendance, it would be on a piece of paper. So what he would do is just write like his name and then be like, I'm going to be in this room. I couldn't do that because the guy was there. And the first day I was there, I recognized immediately I'm fucking cooked, because what do you mean I have to go up to that guy for attendance? And it was really awkward too. So whatever, I just went up to him or whatever. And then sometimes he wouldn't show up either. That's the thing. He would not fully show up. But then when to take attendance, they wouldn't give me the paper. It wouldn't be like a paper thing. It would be like you had to go up to a person to get attendance with her instead of him. But it's like, why does my friend who has him for first period, why can he just write on a piece of paper that he's here and go to a different class? I don't know. I didn't understand that. And it was just one of those things. So I was here. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm going to make the best of it, and maybe it won't be that hard. Let's just say it was quite hard because they ask a lot of you. I'm going to have to check the camera again before we continue this amazing story. Okay, guys, we did it. It's at 9%. That means it won't pause. But that means we only have 9% left of talking. So yeah, I was in the office work. I was sat in a really small chair, like super small, and like my friends would like pass by if they saw me at the office and they would take pictures of me, and I was literally like super tiny because the chair was down here and all the freaking office ladies' chairs were like high as fuck, so I was just a little tiny man. And yeah, so it was an interesting experience to say the least. I had to learn the phone thing. That was the hardest thing for me, the phone thing. I was trying my best. I kind of got the hang of it for the most part, like for the bare minimum. And I was on charge of phone duty. And that's like the one I didn't want to be in charge of. Put me at any other one. And that's not to say I only did that. Like they were still trying to teach me how to take attendance or do like a late slip. So if a student comes in late, like I would put them in the system or something. I don't know. I'll give them a late pass. They taught me how to do that. They were trying to teach me how to do the phone. I didn't have to do filing. I'm trying to think now, like where the story ends. But, yeah, so, I remember where the story ends. So I would have to do that. I don't even know how many times I went to that class. I want to say, the office for office aid. I want to say maybe 4 times max, to be honest. And every time I went, it was the same thing, trying to learn the thing. And I was always overhearing the office lady, talking shit. And that's the part that I'm there for. I was always listening. My ears were open. The lady that I was like kind of assigned under, like she was going to take me in and try to teach me stuff or whatever. She was talking about how like I think her husband was cheating on her or something. I don't know. It was like really juicy stuff, but I couldn't fully like get what was being said because it obviously wasn't being said to me. It was said to the other office ladies. But I was like, what the fuck? Like, wait a minute. I think this isn't so bad. But it was bad because I had to call people. And look, yes, I am bilingual, but there are certain things in Spanish that don't come to me immediately. Like English comes to me quicker. So if I'm speaking with someone, a Spanish speaker, an only Spanish speaker on the phone, which is a lot where I was in high school, is basically Cuba 2.0 over there. I was on the phone with a lot of Cuban people and I just didn't know how to say certain things because it would first come to me in English. Like uniform, I did not know how to say that in Spanish for a while. So when I was like, some woman once called and she was like, oh, like what are the uniforms, like where to get them or whatever. Like I think she was asking like, what would my child need to wear for school? And I said, green polo, but it's just like I don't even know how to say polo either. So I was probably saying polo verde, polo negro, polo blanco. And then I was like, uniforme, like, yeah, si puedes ir a la tienda esa, al lado de... It's really embarrassing, actually, because I don't know what the fuck I was saying. I was just fucking random, like, talking random shit, and it's just like, I don't know how they understood me, but they understood me, but I don't know how. And it's just like, on top of my, like, main language in my head is English, on top of that, like, I don't like talking to people. So it's just like, I was already nervous with that. I'm already nervous with talking to people, and then on top of that, it's like now I have to speak in Spanish, so it's like, oh my god, it's even worse. Like it genuinely like stalls my brain. So even words that I would know in Spanish, like I might not even be able to say it because I'd just be nervous. So that was really not the worst time. The worst one that actually made me realize I'm never showing up to this class again is the fact that they told me, it was an old lady. An old lady came in, and then they were like, "Oh, can you take her to room, like, I don't know, I want to say like room 217." I'm like, I could do that. Like, I know my way around the school. This was my third year in high school. I know my way around. I know my way around the office too, because I was like helping the class officers of that like time of the junior class. I was able to help them and stuff like that here and there. So I kind of knew my way around the office. They said room 217 or room 2 something. I know it was supposed to be in the right area because 2, when the number starts with 2, that means like the building is building number 2, and I knew that the office was building number 2. So I knew it was in the office. This room was supposed to be in the office, or wait. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it was either it was either in the office or the floor above it, which were classrooms, but it wasn't. I knew it was not, like, it couldn't have been that one. I knew it couldn't have been a classroom. So I knew it was somewhere in the office. At least it was supposed to be. Whatever. I'm walking around. The old lady is following me. Okay? I'm like, oh fuck. I'm fucking going in circles. I'm going in circles around the entire office. Oh my god, the poor lady just behind me walking clueless. I'm like literally walking circles, literal circles, making laps around the office. Lady walking around, following me. It got to a point where I'm like, So I go to like this area in front of where I would think this room is. By the way, I was looking at the numbers of the room. No number of the room had the specific one. It was like every number but that one. So I tell the lady, I'm like, hey, like, can you stay here for a second? In Spanish, I'm like, can you stay here for a second? Like, I'll be right back. Like, I'm just gonna ask about where this room is. I go back to the office lady that gave me the job. I'm like, hey, I literally don't know where this room is. Like, where the fuck is this room? I don't even remember what she told me, but I think she told me to go back or something. I go back to find the lady. Gone. Old lady, gone. I don't know where she went. To this day, I don't know where she went. I don't know if she got the help she needed or what. She was gone. And that stresses me out. I mean, I'm assuming like she probably was just like, okay, this kid doesn't know shit. So then she probably like asked a teacher or an office worker or something walking around, like, okay, where is this room or whatever. And I'm glad. I hope that's what happened, because if not, maybe there's the old lady still roaming around the school halls. But that was the moment where it solidified the fact that I'm not showing up to this godforsaken duty. I don't want to do this place anymore. I don't want to do this anymore, okay? So what did I do? I didn't switch out. I just stopped showing up. I would just skip to literally any other class that I could to avoid having to work this. That's the thing that I've noticed I do a lot. I am an avoider when it comes to like sort of things like that. When it comes to arguments though, I don't think I'm an avoider. You know, like when it comes to other stuff, I'm not an avoider. I want to like be able to have a conversation and try to resolve things. When it comes to kind of personal things where like it just mainly is like about me, like it's not me and some other person having like a conversation or anything, it's literally just my personal life or institution, I'm picking me over institution at all points in time, and I'm gonna skip every class, which I did. And you know, I would get marked absent a couple of those times. I wouldn't always though, and that was the good thing. The good thing was that I wasn't always getting marked absent, because he just wouldn't show up and like the attendance wouldn't be taken. So that's the only reason why I felt like I could abuse the system, because I just wasn't showing up to the class and I wasn't always getting marked absent. So, you know what? A win is a win. But guess what? Next year, senior year, I'm back. I'm back in the office aide. And to be honest, I already forgot why or how I managed to go back into there. I think I was originally I was in art. They put me in art for second period, which I didn't really want to take. It was not, I didn't pick it. I don't know why they gave me art. Oh, I remember now. They messed up. I was supposed to be taking photography, but it was an advanced one. So it was called 2D art or something like that. So I think they got confused and they knew I was supposed to get art. So they just put me in art. They didn't put me in 2D art, whatever. I got that figured out, but I was still in art. So I said I need to switch to a different class, and I was trying to figure out what to switch to. So I switched to TV production, which I had taken freshman year. This TV production class, though, was with a new teacher. Wait, I had taken TV production freshman year and sophomore year. And then now, senior year, it was all three different teachers. 3 different teachers every time. This third one, was the worst. No offense to her. She was the worst, really didn't care. It felt like she was flirting with the students and flirting with the teacher next door. I'll just leave it at that. It was just really awkward. And I only knew like 2 people in that class. And I didn't even talk to those people really. Like I talked to maybe one of them. But I just didn't like it. Not a good environment. So what did I do? I was going crazy trying to figure out what class I could switch to. So I think what happened, you know what? I think I might be completely mistaking this. Wait, yeah, I'm completely messing this story up. I apologize. I was talking about something different. That was a different class that I managed to switch to the one I wanted. That was like period. I think it was my math period. I had math and I didn't want math senior year. So I switched out of it. And then I think they put me into office aid because I was supposed to go to office aid under the guise of like going to another teacher. Yeah. That's what it was. Since I was a class officer my senior year, I was supposed to go to like the head of the senior class, the class sponsor is what they called. I was supposed to go to her and help her out while I had office aid. Like the class would be office aid, but I would help her. There was a teacher's assistant class, but the problem was I was already teacher assisting for another teacher. In fact, I actually still technically broke the rules because then I wanted to switch out of geography as well. Senior year was kind of a mess where I just didn't do shit and I was like switching out of everything that I had to do working. And honestly, it was the best experience of my life. I wanted to switch out of geography really badly, so then I was able to switch geography out for teacher's assistant as well, but for the same teacher, which is so fucking goated, because she was a freaking goated teacher. So I was able to do that. So literally like 3 of my periods were basically all teacher's assistant, which is freaking crazy. I didn't even have a math class. My English class was like the easiest English class you could take, bro. Okay, senior year was actually the best year, like of any school year ever. It was genuinely the best. The first half was a little bit not very good because I had so many classes I didn't want. I didn't want the math class. I didn't want the geography class. I didn't want that second period where I was like switching between a bunch of different classes every time. But I was a class officer. And when you're a class officer, that means you could skip basically any class you want. You literally go up to your teacher and you say, oh, I have to do something for class officer. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I really wanted to be here, but I have to do something for class officer. And then they'd be like, oh, okay. Like they have no choice. They really have no choice if you're a class officer because then you go up to the one that's in charge of the whole thing. I forgot what like sort of status name she's called, but she was in charge of the whole thing. And you literally could go up to her and you could be like, can you message my teacher or something, like say that I don't want to, that I'm like doing something for class officer, and she'd fucking do it. That year was so fucking goated, and I don't want to be like that person that peaked in high school, but I do just want to say like that was the best year ever, genuinely the best year ever. I got to do a bunch of events. I got to like be one of the people planning the events. It was like it was peak, at least peak for my entirety of like any school year, honestly, because it's just that they're like genuinely nothing compares to not having to do shit at school. Like you go to school just to fucking dilly daddle. That's the best thing ever. And that's honestly the only reason why I even I was even considering graduating early so I wouldn't have to do a senior year because I hated the beginning of it like that much. I was just like, I'm done with this. I don't even want to do senior year anymore. Then I switched out of those classes, which at first everyone told me I wouldn't be able to do it. Everybody doubted me. Everybody always doubts me. Everybody doubted the fact that I would be able to get my way, okay? And one thing about me is that I am persistent when it comes to things like this, okay? If it's something that I want to avoid, I'm going to put my freaking bussy into that because, like, at all chance I will get, I will put my bussy into that. My math class thing is, like I said, I tend to avoid it first and foremost, so I just stopped showing up to my math class. And at one point, he told my friend that I had in the class, he was like, you need to tell him to come right now or I'm going to send his ass to the office. And when I heard that, I was like, So I messaged him and I was like, hey, so I'm like switching out of your class. Like I'm trying to switch out of your class, which thing is like, it's not accepted to switch out of a math class. Like my school, it's like, you're almost forced to take math all 4 years, which makes sense. But I was technically done with my math credits for high school. I was done with my math credits for high school my freshman year, if you think about it. So technically any math class I took after, I didn't have to take. Like, I didn't literally have to take to graduate high school and then go into college. It was just extras because they wouldn't like you not taking a math class. But senior year, I low-key pulled the ADHD excuse. Okay, listen. Was it really an excuse? Yes and no. Whatever. I still used it. Okay, I still used it. Whatever. I literally messaged the principal. I messaged like whoever I could. I was like, yo, I got ADHD. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, please. And I got out of it. And it was a pain because at first they told me no. They actually told me no multiple times. It was really embarrassing, actually. Because I would go up to my counselor and I would say, hey, like, okay, I want to switch out of this class. And then he would be like, okay, since it's a math class, you have to go to like the head of the math department at the school. So I went to the head department, in the head math department, and I was like, hey, my counselor said I could switch out. And like as I was talking to her as she was leaving her office, and she was like, who's your counselor? And I said his name, and she's like, oh, perfect, I was going to him right now. I'm like, oh, uh-oh. So I'm like following her going to the office. I'm like, fuck, because I just lied. I just said like, oh, my counselor told me I could switch out, because my counselor sent me to her to see if I could switch out, not that I could switch out. So I just kind of lied a little bit, and then she goes in, and she was a really like aggressive woman, so it was like I was already scared. My counselor was like a very nice man, so it was like two opposites, but still. She like goes up to him and she's like, you said he could switch out? And he's like, no. I said for him to go to you to see if he could switch out. And she was like, oh, like, what math are you taking? And stuff like that. And then she basically said, you're taking the dumbest math. You're taking the lowest level math. And I was like, yes. And she's like, what grade do you have? I'm like, I actually don't know what I had. I think I had a D or something. Because I just wasn't showing up. So it's like, obviously, like, I wasn't going to get good grades. And yeah, she told me no that one time. But then that's when I started emailing the principal, and I emailed her again. And I said, no, this isn't working for me. Yeah, okay. I'm talking too much about high school. Okay, let me check the battery again. I'm sorry. Holy shit, 2%, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut the episode short, I think. I did have other topics in mind, but they weren't fully fleshed out, to be honest. And you know what? Maybe it's good to have a shorter podcast episode. Like, maybe that's actually what's needed for this channel, rather like really long ones. But I mean, if you want a long one, I have 15 other episodes to choose from. You could pick your poison. Variety of topics have been spoken. Also, thank you guys for the support. Videos will be made. Videos will keep being made. I won't stop for a while. Thank you guys. Also, I have my link tree now on my thing for the YouTube. So you could follow my Instagram, and you could follow my TikTok, and you follow my Letterboxd if you're into movies. I have all those linked into that link tree. Maybe I'll put it in the description of this video too for easy access. But thank you so much for coming. I did just kind of yap about high school for a while. I apologize. You just have to reminisce sometimes. Goodbye.